Hello everybody, my name is Brett Yates, and I just watched Spider-Man Lotus. Now, just straight off the bat, just in case it's all you came for, my rating of the film is a 6 out of 10. Alright, now I'm going to split this video up into first what I liked about the film, and then what I didn't like about the film. Alright, first off, the suit. I loved the suit. The colors, the fabric texture, everything about it was just so good, especially for a low-budget feature film. My only criticism about the suit would probably have to be the big spider on the back. It was a little bit too goofy and cartoony for my taste, but other than that, the suit was very good. Second up, the score. The music in this movie is so good. It's phenomenal. The theme was phenomenal. Just all the music is so good. It enhances every scene. Now, there's two scenes that I want to point out that I really enjoyed. The first one that I want to point out is when Peter is looking at the videos on the thumb drive. Oh my god, dude. This scene it feels so real. His reaction, the chemistry that you see on these videos of these memories, it honestly made me feel sad, even though previous to this scene I didn't care about the dynamic of the group or their chemistry at all, because it just didn't seem as real. But with Peter's reaction and just how real their chemistry feels in these short clips and the way the music enhances the scene, I can definitively say this is my favorite part of the movie. I was just absolutely blown away. The second scene that I wanted to point out is closer to the end of the film, where Spider-Man is looking through the scrapbook made by this little boy who adores him. This scene is amazing. The way the music swells, the way Peter looks at these news clippings on the wall from the Daily Bugle, and how you can see a glimpse through the lenses of his mask, and you can see the emotion in his eyes that he's feeling in this moment. It's just so amazing. This next scene is slightly split up from the scrapbook scene, but I'm just going to combine them together. After Peter takes off his mask to show this little boy his face, it cuts to Peter looking at Gwen's grave, and you see a shot of the little boy's grave, showing that he's passed away from his illness. And I'm not going to lie, this part hit me so hard. It was honestly very well done. It was very tasteful. I very much liked it. Okay, but forget about all that, because these are the things I didn't like. Starting off, the dialogue. Jesus Christ. So much of this film is filled with boring, stale dialogue that doesn't flow well at all, and Spider-Man's one-liners are just There are a couple parts that I can point out that had halfway decent dialogue, but I'm not exaggerating when I say that there was a scene where MJ and Flash are talking, and I literally stood up out of my chair and said, I don't give a because I could not care less what they were talking about. Next up, the acting. Jesus Christ. There are two actors in this film that I could not stand, those being MJ and Flash. For the most part, they were so unnatural and stale with their delivery, and that's why I couldn't give a about their dialogue and their scene together. Now, I'm not saying all the acting was bad. The little kid did fine, Peter had his strong moments, Harry was pretty good for the most part, and randomly, in one of her only scenes, the little kid's mom confronts Peter and gives such a good performance out of nowhere. But for the most part, the acting wasn't that great and didn't allow me to fully invest myself in most of the scenes in this 2-hour-long movie. Oh, and speaking of it being a 2-hour-long movie, it's 2 hours! This film has no right to be as long as it is, and it has so much filler, and that mixed in with everything I just said makes this movie feel like an eternity to get through. And while we're on the topic of things I don't like, I want to give my 2 cents on the Green Goblin in this film. In my opinion, he seemed just a little too cringy, and I don't hate his costume, but his mask reminds me a little too much of those monsters from that one Goosebumps episode. And while watching his scenes, I was confused if his face was supposed to be like his face and he transformed into a goblin, or if it was just supposed to be a mask. And in that case, it's okay, I guess, but if it's supposed to actually be his face, then it's kind of And now, before we get to the end, I want to comment on the CGI in this film. I heavily applaud the artists that put so much time and effort that you can clearly see in every single one of these shots. almost all of them look amazing. And don't get me wrong, there's a couple stinkers in there, but I do not blame the VFX artist for those. And that's all I really have to say about the film. It wasn't the best and it wasn't the worst, but I would say it's 100% worth checking out. But thank you for watching. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a really good rest of your day. See ya.